Welcome back, guys, to more creepy TikToks, and let's dive in.
If you thought taking tents away from people sleeping rough was bad, wait until you hear this. New laws are being introduced that will bring back the criminalisation of homelessness. If we don't stop this, people sleeping rough in England and Wales could be imprisoned or fined up to £2,500 just because they are homeless. We can't let this happen. This won't help people who are homeless and will just make it harder for them to get support. That's why we're in Westminster today with a petition for the UK government signed by more than 10,000 people calling on them to drop these cruel plans. Last year, Parliament voted to get rid of the Vagrancy Act, the draconian law that criminalised homelessness. But here we are, a year and a half later, and the Vagrancy Act is still technically in force. And what's worse, the UK government is trying to replace it via the Criminal Justice Bill with new laws that are even more draconian. So people who are homeless could face fines for so-called nuisance rough sleeping. The bill says that someone can fall under this definition even if they haven't slept rough, but just look like they might be or are intending to. And as the bill stands, someone could be considered a nuisance if they are sleeping in a doorway or if they have excessive smell. This completely dehumanises those of us who are forced to sleep rough. We also know that people often sleep in doorways to seek some protection against the dangers of sleeping on the streets. This bill could criminalise people simply for trying to keep themselves safe. We're standing against these attempts to replicate the worst parts of the Vagrancy Act. Thank you to all of you who signed this petition. With your support, we're sending a clear message to the UK government. Drop these cruel and unnecessary plans. So please share this video if you believe that homelessness shouldn't be criminalised.
How can people still think that the government is here for the people, or they're here to protect us, when they're picking homeless people out from the street, finding them $2,500 and giving them imprisonment? I mean, that makes no sense. First of all, they're homeless. Where are they going to cough up $2,500?
Oprah's favorites. She says it's a miracle fountain of youth and her magic wrinkle cure. So I'm going to put a little on your hand.
I'll do that. Oprah did.
Yeah, Oprah did it. All right, so here, we're going to rub it right in.
How come it's red?
I'll show you in a sec, Steve. So this is made from growth hormones of human
Look, the wrinkles has just disappeared. I can't even ball my hand up.
But so it's made from human foreskin. I'm sorry, Steve.
Boyfriend have been in a good relationship for quite a moment now.
Yeah,
2 years.
yeah, for 7 years.
Now he's an early 30 and you're a late 50.
Yeah.
But somehow you both look the same age there. I mean, you know, there's something to be said for being with a younger man.
I suck baby's blood and put it on my face.
The unsettling thing about this isn't the foreskin or the fact that the guy says that, about the whole baby situation, the fact that they laugh and joke about it. That's the unsettling thing.
Panda, so you got Panda Panda is a secret code for a certain thing. And so when it comes down to that certain thing is you basically have a certain nerve in your rectum, and if you touch that nerve, you can turn a person into an animal, you can turn a person into whatever you want them to be if you just hold them down. So pretty much when you see black eyes like Blueface and like that, he got beat up, but he didn't get beat up where you thought he got beat up. He got beat up somewhere else, okay? And so the eyes come out, and they call them panda eyes. And they do this so you see people with these cigars, and they're all these big celebrities, they all have the cigar in common. That's that big thing between their legs that they're sticking in. And it's one big society.
I never really delved into the whole Panda Eye Club thing, to be honest with you, but from what I've read, apparently the rituals are called red rooms, and the whole black eye thing is what's called soul scalping, so they feed like a worm through one of your eyes, and that's what causes the whole black eye thing. I do believe that many of these people that we see on TV, like celebrities, who like have those shape-shifting eyes and weird morphed face, I do believe that there's demons in these people, and like we do get a hint of being able to see those demons through the camera lens.
This man is really going through it. Not only was he recently diagnosed for having demon face syndrome, but every person that he sees looks like this.
Imagine your vision is totally normal, and then one day you see demonic features everywhere on people only, just like this, what you see behind me. Now that's a reality for a man named Victor Shera. He is extremely rare yet terrifying disorder called PMO, and it's commonly known as, or now known because people didn't know about it at first. It's called the demon face syndrome.
I don't know about y'all, but this obviously has to do with some spiritual warfare, because the doctor had never even heard about it, and the fact that there's only 75 cases made him have to come up with an explanation and diagnosis to let 59-year-old Victor Shera know exactly what was going on.
Condition, we're told, is called demon face syndrome. Now, it's when an individual sees someone and their face seems distorted, almost satanic, demon-like. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
I haven't, and to your point, when I saw that only 75 cases have been reported, I said, ooh, we really looked high and low to find this one.
That's grim. That's a living nightmare. You hear Roddy Piper with the sunglasses on They Live We Sleep, and he's able to see these demons through his sunglasses. But imagine waking up and your every waking moment, every time you see someone, all you see is demon faces,
Sun. There's somebody in the sun. Look at that. Wow. There's a man in the sun. Man in the sun. Wow. Wow. Are you seeing this? Am I tripping? I must be tripping. Y'all better get right. Get right or get left. Get right with God or get left. There's a man in the sun.
It's difficult to say if that's CGI, if it's real, or if it's Project Bluebeam or whatever, but what definitely is real is every word that you read during that clip. You'll never find truer words, you really won't. That truly is the stuff of nightmares, and I hope she's okay. But what confused me was when I was looking at the mannequin, as it was falling, it changed from stripy clothing to grey clothing. I don't know if you guys picked that up.
This 77-year-old man went to war with a Mexican cartel. Alezo Garzo Tamez had spent his entire life building and working at his ranch, and one day the cartel wanted to claim it as their own property. In the AM hours of November 13th, 2010, 77-year-old Don Alejo was startled by a convoy of trucks approaching his property. This wasn't someone trying to do honest business. It was the Los Zetas cartel. The truck stopped and out came heavily armed cartel members. One of the members approached Alejo and demanded that he handed over the ranch and informed him it would now be property of Los Zetos. They then gave him an ultimatum: leave within 24 hours, and if you're still here when we return, we will kill you. Don Alejo then took a moment and replied, "I'll be waiting. I'll see you in the morning." When they left, they definitely thought Alejo was bluffing. What would a 77-year-old man do to around 20 combat-aged men? Don Alejo couldn't go to the police either, as many of them were compromised by the cartels. So he chose to protect what he built his entire life. When his workers arrived to work that day, he told them to go home early and enjoy the long weekend with their families, not giving away that anything was wrong. Once all of his workers left, Don Alejo prepared for war, and he would be just a one-man army. He went to his basement where he kept all of his rifles, and he then strategically placed them all in the doorways and windows of his house, with plenty of ammunition prepared. He also boarded up all the doors and windows. He then called his wife, knowing more than likely this is the last time he will ever speak to her. Nighttime then came, and he was waiting for the attack, but as the hours ticked by, nothing happened. However, around 4 a.m., Alejo heard the hum and roar of multiple truck engines outside his property. The Zetas had arrived and circled the ranch in formation. They were honking their horns, flashing their lights, and firing gunshots up in the air. At first, nothing happened, and the cartel assumed the old man just left his farm. However, the sound of a gunshot filled the night sky, and it wasn't from one of them. This then set the cartel into panic mode, and a battle then ensued. Alejo boarded up the windows, leaving gaps he can shoot through, and he went window to window taking shots at the Zetas. And due to the darkness, the Zetas couldn't figure out what window Alejo was shooting from, and they then blindly sprayed their guns at the property. During the gunfight, Alejo's marksmanship would come in handy. He dropped cartel member after cartel member. He had killed 4 of them, resulting in the cartel convoy retreating into the darkness. Alejo maintained his position, waiting for them to return. The cartel was flustered and knew they couldn't go back to their boss empty-handed, defeated by a 77-year-old man. So they drew up a plan. In their trucks, they had grenade launchers. The cartel once again approached the property, though they were worried to engage in another gunfight. Alejo then let out 2 more shots, and he hit 2 more cartel members, before one member used the grenade launcher to bomb Alejo's house to smithereens. At this point, the battle had been going on for several minutes, which alerted the military, who were now closing in on the area. Instead of entering the house after bombing it, the cartel fled the scene instead, leaving 6 men behind. 4 were shot dead and 2 were unconscious due to being shot by Alejo. The military then arrived at the scene, and they found the bodies of the Zeta members. The soldiers then entered the house, which was now filled with bullet holes and debris. They then found Don Alejo's body in the doorway to the bathroom with various wounds to the body and head. After being hit by multiple pieces of shrapnel and being shot, it's believed Alejo dragged himself to the bathroom to have one final showdown with the cartel before he passed away. This 77-year-old man went toe-to-toe with at least 20 heavily armed cartel members, with only using old hunting rifles. Don Alejo was a man of honesty and principle and hard work. The story of Don Alejo is a tragic tale, yet a tale of inspiration.
I think it's incredible the fact that he was 77 years of age, stood his ground, and went, one against 20 Los Zetas cartel members with rifles to be added as well. It's crazy, but between Los Zetas and CNG, both were just wild, to be honest with you, so fair play to them.
These popular children's cereal also has an ingredient that is the main ingredient in degreasing paints, trisodium phosphate. So we want to know how many people know that this toxic chemical is in all their children's favorite cereal.
Hey kids! Are any of these your favorite cereals? Yeah. Which one? Yeah, Reese's Puffs.
That's a really hard choice because actually they're like my 3 top.
Trix, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast.
Trix?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch all day.
Do you know what these cereals have in common?
Whole grain. Sugar.
Bunch of sugar.
All whole grain.
Whole grain.
They're all really good.
Fat content.
What? High fructose corn syrup.
Ah, he's kind of smart. All right. Do you know what TSP is?
No, I don't.
Trisodium phosphate?
Uh-oh.
It's very not good for you.
Not good for you.
You use it for cleaning.
Would you eat that?
No, I don't know what it is.
It's degreaser, it's paint remover, it's a lubricant. But it's also found in all 3 of these cereal. It's an ingredient. Would you still eat it if I gave it to you like that?
No.
Do you know what TSP is? All right, you really know what it is?
Come here.
Have you ever eaten it?
I have no idea. I know what that is.
What is it?
Trisodium phosphate.
What does it do?
It cleans your walls very, very well prior to painting.
Yeah. Do you know that's in your cereal? It's already an ingredient.
Serious?
Yep, and all 3 of these. Trisodium phosphate, right there.
Right there, wow.
I was actually quite surprised that there's TSP in the cereal.
Yeah, so like on this, so you've used this before, and it says, a warning, harmful if swallowed. Does that look okay to eat?
It looks like sugar, but I know it's not.
That's not sugar, that's trisodium phosphate.
I know, but there's
It's a
still
chemical.
chemical.
Do you still want to eat the cereal now?
No.
She goes, yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
No? Would you still eat the cereal right now if I put that on top?
No.
Huh? What do you think that does to your insides?
It makes bacteria go
Something like that.
What's up with this one?
This one's organic. Now, we're not promoting it or anything, but it tastes the exact same as Reese's Puffs, but it doesn't have the weird ingredients in it. Do you want to try it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, if you look at the ingredients in this, you can understand all the ingredients. You know what you're eating. It's not necessarily healthy, but it's a lot healthier for you. It has no chemicals in it. Does it taste the same as Reese's Puff?
I seen what they did there, and that was good marketing, to be honest with you. But yeah, trisodium phosphate is in like more than just cereal. It's in so many like sweet stuff. It's disgusting, the fact that, you know, they put this in children's stuff.
Remember that one episode where Chucky swallows a watermelon seed and it grows inside of him? That actually happened to somebody. 28-year-old Artyom Sidorkin complained for weeks about an excruciating pain in his chest. He became increasingly concerned when he began coughing up blood. His doctors were 100% sure he had cancer. He said the x-rays seemed to reveal exactly that. This is an actual x-ray of Artyom's lungs. You can see here that there's something pretty out of the ordinary. Surgeons said that the object looked like the hundreds of tumors he'd seen before. But before removing the so-called tumor from Artyom's lungs, the surgeon examined the tissue taken in a biopsy. He thought he was hallucinating. Then he had his assistant come and take a look, and they both confirmed it. It was a pine tree growing in this man's lungs. The medics said that Artyom must have somehow inhaled a seed at some point. They determined that his coughing up blood was due to the pine needles piercing his capillaries in his lung. This is an actual picture of the pine tree. Although there was extreme pain, Artyom said that there was nothing that would lead him to believe that there was an object inside of his lung, let alone a pine tree. Despite the insane circumstances of his condition, Artyom says that he's just glad he didn't have cancer.
Did you see the size of that thing? That pine tree was at least 6 inches long. I mean, how the hell he got that planted down in his lungs in the first place, I don't know.
An 11-year-old girl came to the attention of the police after she disclosed that she and another child had been sexually abused by a group of adult males. Just a few weeks later, she was found in a derelict house with another child and a number of adult males. Yet she was arrested, 11 years of age, she was arrested for being drunk and disorderly, and none of the males were arrested. Has your force identified the police officers involved in that and found out what went on?
I don't know.
What kind of corrupted society do we live in where police officers find it fully acceptable to walk into a building full of men with a child and think it's perfectly acceptable to arrest a child and not question those men or take their names?
This is not a rash, this is parasites. Eczema is not a skin issue, this is parasites. Spots on the back of your arms, this is parasites. Diarrhea is also parasites. Parasites are microorganisms which feed off the food inside of your body. They thrive in an acidic-based environment and feed off the waste acidic foods in the body. If you are craving sugar and bread, this is not you, this is the parasites sending signals to your brain to influence your behavior. Parasites can alter neurotransmitter levels or produce molecules that mimic those produced by the host's body, affecting the host's behavior ways that benefit the parasite's survival and reproduction. To get rid of your body's issues, you need to eliminate these parasites. To eliminate the parasite, you have to stop feeding the parasite, and they feed off acidic foods like meat, dairy, sugar, and all rubbish foods. You have to go on a plant-based diet for at least a month to eliminate their food source. Key limes, cayenne pepper, and papaya seeds can create a parasite killer drink. You have to take this every day to eliminate these parasites. I do need to warn you that when you do this parasite cleanse, they will exit your body through your bowel movement or, in a severe case, through sick or coming through your mouth. Once they are out your body, they are gone for good. You just need to maintain a healthy diet.
I don't know how true those claims are in relation to the eczema and other rash conditions, but I do know that apparently we are hosts to over 300 species, and also 90% of us already have those parasites in our bodies.
What the fuck just happened?
Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god! What is that?
Is it me, or did that look like the front of a snake with his eyes going red in the sky? As always, guys, be sure to do your own research with most of the clips that you see in these shows, but I was curious about the walking tornado, so I did look it up, and it turns out that there was nothing in 2011, but 1974, 1987, and 1997. 1997 was Jarrell in Texas, and that was the last time that, you know, there was the walking man tornado, and it wiped out so much land at the time, so yeah. What's your thoughts on that one, guys? I mean, for me, I have to call cap on that. It just looks a bit too CGI for me, but maybe it's not, so I'll let you decide on that one, guys.
Hello. My name is Montague William III. And what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and big industry. For many a year we have controlled your lives, while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashions and plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from father to son, inherited knowledge that gives me the edge, while you people lie sleeping at night in your beds. We control the money that controls your lives, whilst you worship false idols and wouldn't think twice about selling your souls for a place in the sun. These things that won't matter when your time is done. But as long as they're there to control the masses, I just sit back and consider my assets, safe in the knowledge that I have it all, while you common people are losing your jobs. You see, I just hold you in utter contempt. But the smile on my face, well, it makes me exempt. For I have the weapon of global TV, which gives us connection and invites empathy. You would really believe that we look out for you, while we bankers and brokers are only a few. But if you saw that, you'd take back the power. Hence, daily terrors to make you all cower. The panics, the crashes, the wars, and the illness that keep you from finding your spiritual wholeness. We rig the game, and we buy out both sides to keep you enslaved in your pitiful lives. So, go out and work as your body clock fades. And when it's all over, a few years from the grave, you'll look back on all this, and just then you'll see that your life was nothing, a mere fantasy. There are very few things that we don't now control. To have lawyers and police force was always a goal, doing our bidding while you march on the street. But they never realize that they're only just sheep. For real power resides in the hands of a few. You voted for parties. What more could you do? But what you don't know is they're one and the same. Old Gordon has passed good old David the reins, and you'll follow the leader who was put there by you. But your blood, it runs red, while our blood runs blue. But you simply don't see it's all part of the game. Another distraction, like money and fame. Get ready for wars in the name of the free, vaccinations for illness that will never be, the assault on your children's impressionable minds, and a microchipped world. You'll put up no fight. Information suppression will keep you in tone. Depopulation of peasants was always our goal. But eugenics was not what we hoped it would be. Oh yes, it was us that funded Nazis. But as long as we own all the media too, what's really happening does not concern you. So just go on watching your plasma TV, and the world will be run by the ones you can't see.
As true and as crazy as this poem was, it was actually a really beautiful poem in its own weird way. But guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the creepy TikTok compilation, and if you did, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, tickle the notification bell for the next video, and smash that like as well, guys. But until then, go ahead and look after yourselves, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you then.